wait a minute. Right. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, good morning. Let me introduce myself. My name is Farah Maya Awalia, and my student number is 021. And today I would like to explain about the intrinsic and extrinsic element of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Okay, first of all, there's characters. The first one is major character, including Victor Frankenstein, and then the monster and Robert Walton. And then the minor one, the first one is Alphonse Frankenstein, or let's say Victor's father, and also Henry Clever, which is Victor's best friend, and also Distant Moritz, Victor's brothers, and also the one and only beloved wife, or let's say beloved one, from Victor is Elizabeth Lavenza. And then the third one is about characterizations. Let's say the first one, Victor Frankenstein. He's such an ambitious and then curious and has a big curiosity, or let's say he has a big obsession with making living creatures. And so after he realized that he wanted to make something that about science, and after that he made a monster, later he feels guilty and despair and regret. And then the second one, the monster, at the beginning was evil and then emotional and impulsive when he couldn't get what he wanted. For example, in the story, we know that the monster wants Victor to make another female version of the monster because the monster feel a bit lonely. But since Victor didn't accept monster's request, that's why the monster got angry. But in the middle of the story, the monster is also intelligent and also sensitive, but guilty at the end. And then the third one, Elizabeth, she is kind and innocent. As we know that from the story, there's a single quotation from Victor. Let's say Victor said, she was the living spirit of love to soften and attract. The fourth one, Robert Walton. He is such an adventurous, kind-hearted, also knows the limitation of knowledge. And the fifth one, Henry Clever, has a sensitive heart and boundless love of nature, since Henry guides Victor to the right way throughout his doctrine. So when Victor has a big obsession over science, his best friend, Henry, is such, like wise man. That's why in the midst of the conquest or the story, when Victor makes something that is too much or exaggeration, Henry will remind Victor. And then the next one is about setting. The first one in time. And in the story, we didn't find any specific written time. So let's say it's unidentified, and the place it is located in so many places. But let's say unidentified small middle European village, and then Frankenstein's castle, laboratory, and we're gonna say all over Europe. And then the atmosphere itself is gloomy, dark, and mysterious. And point of view, the third point of view. So Frankenstein itself has the third point of view because it happened not only from Victor's point of view, but also from other characters like Walton when he did his adventure, and then from the monster and so on. And the theme of this story is related to the pursuit of knowledge, including monstrosity, also reflects the hopes and fears of every scientific era. And then the plot. The first one, exposition. It is studied by Robert, who meets Victor after seeing a gigantic figure. And then the second part, rise in action. It is studied when the monster is abandoned and seeks out Victor for revenge, or let's say when the monster is abandoned by all the folks and he, like didn't get any friend at all. So the monster seeks out Victor for revenge. And then the climax is when monster kills all Victor's relatives, started from Victor's family, like his brother, and then the last one is when the monster kills Elizabeth. And then the fallen action is when Victor passes away because he suffered from his pain, illness. So that's why the Victor died. And then the conclusion one is when the monster decided to suicide himself because he knows that his creature has been died. So that's why he feels regret and then despair, and he realized that it is better for him to um, kill himself by burn him. And then the next one, a moral value. Some moral value that I got when I read the story is the first one. Having curiosity upon something is good, but remember its limitation. So we believe that everything that we do, there will be consequences. So don't forget about its consequences. And then the next one, always be responsible for whatever we do. And then the next one is predicting the future with complete accuracy is impossible. As we know that in the story, Victor has a plan. He wanted to make a living creature because he has a big obsession upon science. So he wants to make a monster, and he thought that by making it by making a creation, whatever it is, from a dead body, like a corpse, um, there will be no bad or evil consequences. Instead, the fact is, we know that the monster is evil. So that's why we cannot predict the future with complete accuracy. It's impossible because we only human and we have so many flawless, and the ones that only knows about everything, especially about the future, is only our God. Okay, the next one is about extrinsic elements. There are at least four aspects that I found from this story. The first one is social aspect. The first one about Mary Shelley itself. So it was written for a teenager at a very difficult period in her life. So that's why we found so many like darkness or things that evil, and also um, gloomy atmosphere in the story because the story itself is written by a teenager at a very difficult period in her life. And then the second one is about political aspect. Um, why this story is subtitled "The Modern Prometheus," because at that era, let's say due to the terrible consequences like the atom bomb, and then um, like nuclear accident that happened at the time. So that's why the story is something that related to thriller, and also about um, the evil side of science. And then the third one is about uh, psychology, psychological aspect. Sorry. Um, so because I'm sorry, there's something I believe that I put the wrong text in the PowerPoint. It should be because we know that the Mary Shelley has been rejected by her father, so that's why he wrote something that dark, like making a living creature from the dead body or corpse, and also because she had a terrible experience regarding about birth, so that's why um she doesn't really like something that, I mean, like giving birth. Mm-hmm. So that's why she makes it into a monster. And then the fourth one, cultural aspect. Its condition in the 18th and 19th century, in which galvanism and scientific experiments were so famous. What is galvanism? Oh, galvanism is, let's say, the experiment that at that era we believe that electrical can make, um as long as there's electricity in the human body, so the human will be fine, or all organs will still work, and that's all. So that's all I can say regarding Frankenstein story. So I hope that there are at least one, two, or several things that you got. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.